Hey, what's going on? You know who is, you know what it is. All right, you guys. Michael Rapaport then came down from his I think I'm a brother cloud, which we already knew he wasn't no brother in the first place, and we never thought of him as a brother. But, you know, Michael Rapaport resorts to proving what he really is, a fake white guy, faking the funk, that thought he had some kind of black past when he didn't. Now, keep in mind, Michael Rapaport is a one-dimensional actor, famously known for a fake ass movie that got made a while back, like in the early 90s, called Zebrahead. And Michael Rapaport is pushing 50, but he looks like he about 61 and shit. And he like in his late 40s. Dude is aged horrible. But nevertheless, Michael Rapaport took it upon himself to speak on some shit that didn't have nothing to do with him, because he thought he was some kind of brother, and he thought he had the right to speak on some shit that didn't have nothing to do with him. But anyway, based off the fact that Janet Jackson was pretty much saying that, hey, I'm not fucking with the Super Bowl and Justin Timberlake, people decided to pay tribute to her. You know, her fan base. Janet Jackson has a big fan base, and pretty much it was people in the black community. But, you know, Michael Rapaport took it upon himself to try to call himself trying to disrespect Janet Jackson by saying, oh, why is people celebrating Janet Jackson, and when was the last time she had a song that was popping, and, you know, all that type of shit. And he basically tried to disrespect Janet Jackson. So, people ended up putting him in his place, saying, hey, look, dude, you a white boy, you ain't one of us, man, don't be speaking on no shit like that. So a lot of people was like basically cooking his ass and roasting his ass on his social media accounts, like, dude, who asked your opinion anyway, dude? When was the last time you had a leading role in a movie? When was the last time you played a different type of character in a movie? When was the last time you had a role of significance? So, in typical fashion, like most white people do, they want to play victim, then they want to point the finger at other people, and then he showed what type of cat he really was. Now, the interviewers on YouTube, he did some type of podcast, and basically he was saying, well, damn, all I did is voice my opinion on Janet Jackson, and then he kept saying they, which he was talking about black people. That's who he was saying, but he knew better than to say black people, because that would have opened up a whole another can of worms, saying, well, they was, you know, riding me on my Instagram accounts and all that, and my social media accounts, and he kept saying they. He said, well, let me ask you this question. Why ain't they, or those people, you know, getting mad at Quincy Jones? So he brings up Quincy Jones. So instead of him taking the heat for himself, he decides to take the coward's way out and point the finger at somebody else. We talking about you. We talking about you speaking on some shit. Now, in case you guys don't know, Quincy Jones last week did an interview where he basically said some shit about a mostly deceased musicians and comedians, such as Richard Pryor, Marvin Gaye, Michael Jackson. Now, people did get on Quincy Jones. Me, myself, I didn't want to talk about that shit, because at the end of the day, Michael Jackson, Marvin Gaye, Richard Pryor, they ain't here to defend themselves. And I really didn't want to go that direction, because I respect all three of them, you know, as entertainers and shit. And the problem I have with Quincy Jones, you sitting up talking about everybody else, but what about what you did? What about allegedly what you used to do? What about allegedly what you supposed to ask Tupac to do to you? While you sitting up like talking about everybody else, and he didn't talk about himself, you know, except talking about he dated Ivanka Trump. Like I said before, he didn't bring up his dirt. He talking about everybody else allegedly. So I just decided not to go that direction. But Michael Rapaport's punk ass, he decided to bring that shit up. You know, basically he was dry snitching. Like I said, motherfucker, we was talking to you. We asked you, why you speaking on us, celebrating, you know what I'm saying, one of the greatest R&B singers in the last 30 years in Janet Jackson. She's special. She's royalty. Like I said, when have you sold over 30 million records? Never. So, yeah, man, that was just some weak shit, man. You know what I'm saying? So, as far as Michael Rapaport go, he showed what time it is with him. He showed his true colors. Because, like I said, he thought he was slick, too. He kept saying they and people and all that shit. He knew better than to say black. But he almost slipped up. But, yeah, it would have been over for him. But it's over for him anyway. So, you won't hear me, like, supporting Michael Rapaport on anything. I'm out.